Round 1. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 233rd episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We're powered by ATEBIT.net, Audio Technica, and Manscaped. I'm your extremely humble host, Brendan White. You can find me just about everywhere at Brendan 8-Bit. And joining me today, the Valkeen to my Geck, my podcast ride or die. You can find her on dem socials at Miss Allie Hart. Miss Allie Hart, what the hell is going on today?
Oh, not much. I am absolutely buggered from the gym. So the old age is seeping through, and just a simple gym session now just knocks me up for the entire day. I was like, that's it. I stood up. But
was it a bit of a cardio day, or is it a weights day, or are you sort of doing like a bit of a mix?
Today was more of like an abs and butt day. So
yep.
flinging things around, doing a bunch of sit-ups, you know.
Yep.
The fun stuff.
You'll feel rough today, but you'll feel a bit better tomorrow.
No.
But maybe still a bit rough.
It will hurt. If I've learned anything, it just gets worse. It multiplies.
You just learn to deal with the pain more and more as the days go by.
What's funny is when you work abs, or for me personally, when it hurts the next day and like you sneeze or laugh and you're just like, because it hurts.
Just curl over into a ball and just want to cry.
Happiness pains me.
That's it. The things we do to stay healthy and, you know, in our best selves, right?
Yeah, we try. We really, really try. As the years go on, you got to do what you can.
Yeah. I need to do a little bit more in that regard, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, we're back here, episode 233 of THG. I haven't really been playing much. I've been playing a lot of the same game as you. It's crazy that this space bug has bitten us in such a way. So I guess I'll just sort of briefly touch on it, and if you want to go deeper on it too, we can. But yeah, we've all been playing No Man's Sky this past week. Had a crew of 4 rolling out, going on missions, building stuff, turning our little planet into a township. It was
yeah, we did. We really followed through on our threat from the previous episode of really making essentially like a little city space hub on the other side of NATO's planet, and boy did we.
Yeah, we've taken over. It's color coded, it's uniformed, it's all where it's meant to be. We still need to probably give the Pizza Hut a fresh coat of paint, but everything else is on brand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, but it was lots of fun. We kind of like worked together as a group. So we had your initial plot of land that you had, and even you have now like kind of renovated. Your area is all like fancy now. You've got all these different rooms and different areas allocated now for what they need, like mining and teleportation and all that sort of stuff. It's great.
Well, that's it. Well, I learnt from my No Man's Sky parents and yourself and NATO, because you two are sort of upper echelon god tier of No Man's Sky from a build and currency perspective. So I sort of saw when you guys started using all them little prefab buildings, you can just sort of snap it all together and not worry, and it's powered and everything else. I'm like, okay, I need to lift my game up. I need to step my pussy up, as they say on the streets. So I've been doing that and getting it going.
Oh, as they say on the streets. Yeah, well, although, full disclosure, you kind of get 2 lessons from your No Man's Sky parents, because I'm all about building a base everywhere I go, you know, training my companion, while NATO's just like, F that, I'm going to explore the world and create a mining enterprise.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got his bloody freighters and a million ships and a million little underlings going out and making him his cash, where I sort of lean more towards your styling. I like to just build out and have like a nice big hub and a township and a nice base and have everything looking pretty. That's sort of where I'm at the moment. Yeah. But it's been great, and doing some of them Nexus missions was pretty cool. Yeah. Being able to roll out in a squad of 4 and kill stuff or tame creatures or find some random crash survivor and all that kind of thing. It was cool to sort of experience some of the other many things you can do in this game.
Yeah, this was something that was new to me because I obviously never had at least like 3 other people to play with in order to start the Nexus mission. And Lord knows, as we've learned from all the strangers that hang out in that area, they're probably not the best people to play a mission with. So it was good to actually roll out with a crew that we could all communicate to each other and get it done. And we got to earn some cash.
Most definitely. It feels good. It feels like our little sort of crew and all our respective focus areas were going on. It feels like we're all cooking with gas and firing on all cylinders and whatever other type of metaphor or pun you want to throw at it. But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm firmly entrenched in No Man's Sky. Played a few more games of Apex here and there over night time when I got sort of just a bit of downtime going on. But outside of that, you've been playing a little game on Apple Arcade, I see.
Yes, I've been following this game for quite a bit. It's called Cozy Grove. And the best way, like, I guess it's described as it's like a camping game. Like, you're in a campsite that's haunted by little creatures, and it's just like a really cute game where you do little tasks of crafting, fishing, and doing little quests for these ghosts so they can kind of learn about who they are and kind of come to terms with, you know, why they are a ghost, and essentially getting to probably the point where their spirit becomes free, essentially. But it's by Spryfox, and it's currently available on Apple Arcade only, but I believe in a few weeks' time it will be available to everyone on PC, console, Switch.
Drops on Steam on April the 9th. I'm assuming it'd probably be similar time frame for console and Switch as well.
Yeah. The best way to describe it, like, I don't know how many people have played Don't Starve Together, where it's this really cute kind of almost like hand-drawn kind of style, and as well as kind of like what you do, where you kind of have to explore the island, collect objects, craft things, so then you can obtain other items in order to sell or create things. It's a very chilly, like, relaxing game. It's very chill. The music's very sweet, and I think it's a really good game to kind of throw on when you don't want to like stress out. Like, it's really adorable, and so far I'm really, really enjoying it. It only came out today, so I've only been...
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I've only been...
dove deep.
I've been putting in the hours already as soon as I saw that it was available for Apple Arcade, and only currently available for Apple Arcade. I was like, sweet. So I could load it up on the Apple TV, so I was actually able to play it on the TV and use the controller that we use with the Apple TV. So it's
nice. It's very cute.
It
like
is
I really
adorable.
like this sort of like watercolor art style it's got going on, like with the way it's sort of you know, all the characters and the worlds filled out and highlighted. It's cute. It's very much a Miss Ellie Hart game from what I can see, just from what I'm looking at in the back end here. And yeah, you can fish. That's you know, so it's got its hooks into me partially already when I see that there's a fishing option. I'm like, oh, do I need to get this too? Play it on the Apple TV as well?
Yeah, like
I need to get a controller though. I need an Apple TV controller.
You don't need to buy the specific Apple one. I believe there is a SteelSeries branded one that you can get, and maybe you can actually link up other controllers to it. But it does help with certain games. But I don't know if you're going to be an Apple Arcade person, considering you're an Android person.
Yeah, like I'd only be playing it on my Apple TV. And then it's like, if I'm sitting down to play games, I'd probably play something else.
Yeah, that's what I like about this, is that I can play it on the TV, and then if I'm out and about, I can just play it on my phone, and it's the same save file and everything. Actually, got to be honest, like, loading into the Apple Arcade store, they've released so many more games that look just amazing. I've really got to go through and actually start picking up on some of these, because Apple Arcade has done well in bringing through these games onto mobile that are actually high quality. It sounds a little insulting when I say it, but there's a lot of mobile games that kind of come through that are very one-dimensional, I guess. They feel like a mobile game, whereas Apple Arcade is bringing games through that actually feel like these games can be played on like console, PC kind of thing. So it's been really good. So
yeah, it's a great little indie hub, an indie showcase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apple Arcade. So, and it's, what is it, $6 a month, I think, or something
I
like that?
believe, yeah. So we have like a family plan here between me and my husband, so we only pay for once, and yeah, so we both have access to Apple Arcades, and
Nice. Well, if you feel like adopting a 34-year-old child to add to that family plan, I know a guy. He's house trained, he's toilet trained, he's fine.
Hey, with all the cooking I've been seeing you doing with the smoker, as long as that comes with the child, yeah, we'll be glad
Done.
to adopt.
Package deal. All right. Outside of that, I've been watching some things. So I watched the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier last night before I hit the hay.
Mm-hmm.
I like where they're going with it. I like that they're sort of fleshing out these two characters a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode doesn't give you a whole lot. It's sort of just, I guess, giving you some backstory about where these two have been after the ending of Endgame. So this is the show's set like 6 months afterwards, and it's, I guess, showing the flow-on effect of what's happened with that and everyone coming back from the blip and all that kind of thing. So I'm avoiding spoilers, but I enjoyed it. Like, they're great actors. Like Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie are really great in their roles, and I think they're great on the screen. And I'm curious to see what else they're going to try and ram in the next 5 episodes. It feels like it's going to be very compressed because it is only a 6-episode season or 6-episode run. I don't know if they're looking to do this as a multi-seasonal thing, but it was cool. It was fun. It was more Marvel, but it was a big jolt for me because the night before, the Snyder Cut dropped around the world on HBO Max or Binge here in Australia, and I sat and watched that on Thursday night, and going from a near 4-hour, I guess, slow burn, real character study that Justice League is to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was very, very stark contrast.
I bet.
It was crazy, but I really, 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 really enjoyed the Snyder Cut. It was great. There's a few things there that like they could have done without. They could probably have lessened the amount of like slow-mo cuts in it. There is a lot of those to add emphasis to certain things, obviously with the Flash and his super speed where, he sees things really slowly. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. But overall, it's a completely different movie to old Joss Whedon's release a couple of years ago, where obviously Joss came in halfway through after Zack lost his daughter and had some issues with the DC studio group and everything else.
Yeah.
It's night and day. Like, there's developed character arcs for everybody in this movie now. Not only just fleshing out the primary big bad from the first movie in Steppenwolf, seeing where he's come from, what he's dealing with, and sort of working out why he is the way he is. But all the main Justice League characters get a full fleshed out arc and story. And it's funny because in the first iteration of this movie, Cyborg was just like this angsty robot dude with no real development, but he is front and center as probably the star of this movie.
Wow.
The way they've sort of cut it, and it's really great to sort of see what he came through and everything that old Victor Stone had to deal with, and the trouble with his family and his dad, and his dad making him what he is, and rah. And it's really good. Like there's some really heartwarming moments from every character involved in this movie. Some big emotional payoffs, some cool fights. There is a couple of moments with the new CGI that they've added in with this cut where it does feel like it's a little bit cheaper than other parts. Like it doesn't break the movie and you don't lose immersion, but there is a few parts where you're like, ooh, yeah, I can sort of see that there. That was done at the $2 store CGI as opposed to the lead in. Like it still looks good, but it's noticeably different. But it's a marathon. It is a big movie. Like it's nearly 4 hours worth of runtime. It is broken up into chapters, so you can pause when it gets to them and go take a break or get some snacks or whatever you want to do. But I did it in one hit. I just went, all right, let's go. Got my KFC, smashed my KFC.
Within the first.
Watched this thing from front to back.
Yeah.
My stomach regretted the KFC about probably 6 chapters in, but it was well worth it. But I really, really enjoyed it. Like I know I think it's a little bit divisive on social media. There's a lot of people that
mixed. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some people that love it and adore it, and I'm in that camp. Like I'm not trying to be overly positive or biased or ignorant, but knowing what that movie was and what it is now with this sort of fully developed Zack Snyder vision, I think it's really, really good and well worth a watch. It's some of the best DC or some of the best broader comic book screen time I've seen in God knows how long. It's up there for me. Like, it's up there. Like, yeah, I really adored what they did with this movie, and just seeing how the characters are portrayed and showcased and showing them in these vulnerable positions and whatever else. I think it's really, really well done, and I definitely recommend anyone that's a fan of comic films or has watched the first one and thought it was a bit ho-hum. This is night and day. Like, it's still not a perfect movie, but knowing where that other one was to where this one is, like, I know it's a bit of a low bar to jump over, but I really, really liked it.
It should be interesting considering I haven't seen the movie at all. So this will be me coming in with just like a fresh set of eyes and having an opinion based on what's in front of me, as opposed to, well, it's better than the other one. Like, I'll be going in judging it as is. So
you're very lucky in that regard. You haven't sort of been scolded already by the first viewing, and you're going in with fresh eyes. Like, that's a very fortunate position to be coming from. That's for sure.
It's the 4 hours that's stopping me. Every time I thought about like starting to watch it, it's like, yeah, but 4 hours. Like, it's like one of those things. Like, I'm like, you gotta like, can I like watch it the next day? Like, watch one half and watch the second half kind of thing, or is it like a rhythmic thing where maybe it's like, no, watch it all in like one sitting? So yeah.
I think you could do either, if I'm being completely honest. Like, the way these chapters are sort of fleshed out with like the in chapter arc or resolution that each one of them, I guess, are trying to set up and then complete. It is a way where you could probably watch the first 3 or 4 and then go, you know what, I need a break. I'll come back to this tomorrow or later today or whatever. So it doesn't cut like midway through a pivotal scene where you're like, fuck, I can't remember what happened now. Like, it'll cut at the end of like a scene, and then a new sort of scene or area or story evolution picks up from there. So I think you can watch it over a couple of days if you wanted to.
I guess the best way to look at it is, if it does have the chapters, as you mentioned, is maybe I can approach it thinking it's like a TV show. So
yeah. Yeah. But then you could just be like me and just have little restraint and just binge until your eyes fall out and watch it all in one hit. So
that's the fight I'm fighting with everyone else whenever I complain about 4 hours of this movie. And it's like coming from the person who sits down and watches like, God knows, 8 hours of SVU in one sitting. But like...
Yeah, so look at it as a television version of Justice League.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd love to get your feedback, because you're sort of the DC purist amongst the two of us. Like, I still adore that world and whatever else, but I know you definitely gravitate towards those characters more compared to Marvel. Yeah,
but usually when there is a strong focus on the villains, usually when it's focused on majority of the heroes, and this one is like a big focus on the heroes, but there's that person that apparently appears in this that I want to see how he turned out, especially considering his first run as a villain didn't go down well. So I'd be interested to see this version.
They've done Steppenwolf justice in this. I think, like, in the first movie, it was not really portrayed that well, but they flesh him out and give him some vulnerability and give you, like, you know, what I guess they're starting to do more often in a lot of these comic book movies is they justify, or his actions become relatable, where you can be like, okay, I get where you're coming from here. Like, I can empathize with you a little bit, Mr. Bad Person, because I'd probably be feeling similar if I went through the shit you did, type of thing. So, yeah, he's fleshed out. They've got a lot of weight to his actions and what he's doing it for and why, and you can sort of get it. And the armor he's got on him, like, I know you haven't watched the first one, but it's so much better looking in this, where it's just all like, it's like sentient armor, and it moves when he's like with his emotions and stuff. It looks so damn cool.
I've seen screenshots from the first one of what he kind of looked like, so I've got something to base that off.
It's great, and it's more violent. Like
cool.
it's got the US like R rating, which over here I guess is your MA equivalent maybe. So there's like more bloodshed, more dismemberings, there's some swearing, all this kind of stuff. So it's a nice darker tone where the Whedon cut was more, you know, let's chuck some more jokes in and make it a little bit more whimsical and just go from set piece to set piece. Where this one, it is a slow burn. It's a character analysis and showing these emotional arcs that all of the characters go on, good or bad. So yeah, check it out. I loved it. I don't think I'll watch it again for a little while because it is a big meal to try and fit in. Yeah. But yeah, I could see this as like similar to what I do with like the Lord of the Rings movies, where I'd sit and like watch it. Like I do the Lord of the Rings back to back every year. And I think I'd watch this like as a yearly thing as well, I reckon, because it is just one of those big epic movies that just got me.
I've only seen
in all the right places.
Lord of the Rings, so that's not a good comparison.
Oh, not as in like they're similar movies, but like I just like having those big marathons sometimes where I like to watch, you know, a big story play out in one hit, and that's what this movie is for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But give it a look because I want to hear your feedback.
We'll find out. Hopefully I'll watch it next week. I'll make time.
Yeah, you got to find about 4 hours. So, you know, break that out over a couple of days if you need to, or just look at it like a TV show.
Will do.
But while you're looking at that, listeners, if you want to back us at a monetary level, you can obviously head on over to kofi.com/weare8bit and support us for the low price of $5 AUD a month, which is going to get you early access to a slew of podcasts, automatic entries into our monthly giveaways, as well as some other 8-bit swag that is going to be delivered and scattered throughout the year and beyond. If you can't support us monetarily, that's more than fine. Obviously, be sure to rate, review, subscribe us on your podcast player of choice, preferably Apple Podcasts if you can, or Spotify. But those ratings, reviews help keep the emotional lights on in our hearts. And if you want some limited edition sort of one-time swag, obviously jumping back over to kofi.com/weare8bit, you can get yourself one of these exclusive 8-bit Founders coins. You know, single run, never to be repeated, available. They're in my hands right now. That's the coin touching the microphone.
Bit of ASMR for you.
I'm biting it. It is all metal. It is nothing but the best quality. And yeah, $20 AUD gets one of these bad boys delivered to you anywhere on planet Earth. The first batch of coins were dispatched this past week to all those fantastic people that have subscribed or supported us already. So thank you for that. And obviously, we've also got the Star Wars Family Portrait Edition running for 2021. So if you want to get immortalized as your favorite Star Wars or least favorite Star Wars character, it's totally up to you. $50 AUD gets you not only your own personal avatar, but also the overall complete group shot when it is finished at the back end of this year as well. But, Miss Hart, after we're done talking about Kofi, maybe we can go and listen to some lo-fi with this ad read. Now, listeners, do you ever worry that you won't ever succeed in finding all 3 mother boxes because they're hidden away in your unkempt, dense pubic hair? Well, worry no more, as the purveyors of perfect pubic hair have you covered. The Perfect Package 3.0 kit by Manscaped is equipped with everything you need to keep your lasso of truth clean and ready for any demon that comes your way. It all starts with the Lawnmower 3.0, complete with a patented ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology. It's going to have you feeling richer than Bruce Wayne and more state-of-the-art than Cyborg.
It also comes with an assortment of liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. Some of these liquid tools for your family jewels are the Crop Preserver. It is an anti-chafing deodorant that will keep your bits smelling as fresh as Aquaman's ocean. This is a total game changer. Why are you not already putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? Next up is the Crop Reviver, a spray-on ball toner that will have you protected like a kryptonite suit. The Perfect Package also comes with a nifty travel bag to carry your batarang and grappling hook, disposable shaving mats, and a set of the comfiest anti-chafing boxes you have ever worn. This is the Perfect Package for your perfect package.
And listeners, we've got a very special offer for you guys on order today. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code 8bit at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with the free shipping at manscaped.com using the code ATEBIT. And remember, people, nobody wants your dark side to be messy, hairy, sweaty, and dirty. So check out manscaped.com and use the code 8bit at checkout for 20% off and free shipping.
This week's news headlines.
And the first little quick hitter, I thought I'd just chuck it in there to get your sort of shoot from the hip feedback here. We copped our first look at the upcoming PS5 VR controllers. Big change from the old wands that we were used to from the first iteration of the original PSVR. They're pretty funky looking, I gotta say. You're certainly not going to have them probably, you're not going to lose them by any stretch of the imagination. One thing I found interesting is they've separated the face buttons. So your X, circle, triangle, and square, instead of them all being on, say, the right hand for like when you're using a controller typically, they've broken up and they've got two on either side, which they've got the same on the wands as well. But I think they look nice. They look like they're pretty ergonomic for your hands. And the fact that the tracking's done through the headset. Keen to see more of this tech when we get some more showcasing and highlighting maybe sometime this year.
Yeah, ergonomic is definitely a good way to explain how they kind of look. And a part of me actually thinks that these would look a little nicer if you had to have them out on display. Like it's an item that you can't really have tucked away too much. They actually look like they could actually fit in some kind of environment and be almost like a centerpiece. So they're not too harsh on the eyes. I am also glad that anything to do with a strap to your wrist when it comes to a controller has always just been bane of my existence. So it looks great. I think it's a positive move.
Yeah, so they look like they're sort of flipped Oculus Quest controllers. The Oculus Quest controllers have that sort of circular area where you're going to put your hands through at the top of the controller. So they almost look like they're just sort of inverted Quest controllers, but I like them. They remind me of like a rapier sword, like a sword.
Oh yeah,
where they've
like
got
the
that.
handle.
It's sort of like that. Yeah.
Actually,
like you stick.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Stick a sword on the top of these things and you're ready for battle. But they look nice, and I like that they're sort of that black and grey color as opposed to white.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the darker palette as opposed to going the white like the PS5 console currently is. So hopefully the headset follows that same blueprint as well.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's going to be a bit of an eyesore against your bright white fucking console. But oh well, can't complain. Let's keep everything on the darker side. Yeah.
And I just like VR. And I like that it's getting, like it hasn't been parked. Like Sony hasn't gone, you know what? We had some success, but we're moving on. They're still going down this tech side with their DualSense and banana controllers and now with PS5 VR. So, I'm keen to see what happens with that. The next bit of news, just titled this one, Is It Hip to Be a Square? Enix. And this highlights everything announced in this week's Square Enix Presents. It is wrapped up with the reveal of the next Life is Strange game, a look ahead at the future of Marvel's Avengers, and a few bits and pieces for Tomb Raider's 25th anniversary year. But the show kicked off, it's just mentioned by Lara Croft, for her 25th birthday through the highlighting the re-releases of old games and Lara Croft popping up in other titles such as Fortnite. On that note, Croft Manor will also be playable in a creative level within Fortnite this coming week. There'll also be a Tomb Raider cookbook. Okay, everyone, I can respect cookbooks. I've got the Destiny cookbook at home here. Still haven't made a thing out of it, but it looks good. But yeah, I like that they've done the most recent trilogy in one pack for like $20 US, was already available on the Xbox and PlayStation stores. Fantastic trilogy. So they sort of led off with that on the back of Lara Croft's 25th anniversary. And then, it was just going through some upcoming hits with the Fortnite focus and some mobile discussion and things like that. But I thought it was pretty cool. I thought, this little bundle's a great way to get into these games because the price point's great and they're a phenomenal set of 3 games that you need to experience. Yeah. IMO.
Well, I don't know, for something like where they were trying to hype up Lara Croft's 25th birthday, I kind of expected a little bit more to the way that they tried to sell it to you. Like, it honestly felt a little bit like filler, where they said, here's a cookbook, here we are making that anime, remember? Oh, by the way, we are also going to do another movie, so we've also got that in the pipeline. But here are those 3 games bundled together.
You felt it was a bit weak.
I kind of thought that if you were celebrating an event like this, like maybe something like I don't know, like something else. I honestly thought something else was going to come up. So to me, it kind of felt like they wanted to make a big deal, but they didn't really have enough to kind of prop it up. So
I get you. Yeah, so they just sort of just went, shit, we need to fill this goodie bag real quick. Just toss everything you can in there to make it appealing to the guests.
Yeah, like I would love to get excited for Lara Croft. Like the games like Tomb Raider that have been with us for a long time. The fact that I remember playing it for me, I played it on PC and just seeing like her character evolve and like from from those very boxy humble beginnings, and then seeing how they've interpreted her in this new age and making her what I feel is a positive female role model in the gaming sphere. And she holds her own, always used in contrast to like Uncharted. So I don't know, I kind of, when you want to celebrate something, I felt like there should have been maybe a little bit more, but beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, I'm with you. They certainly could have made it more of a spectacle, and I guess it's a shame that they didn't have more big brand new announcements, like it was just a rehash or a refresher of this is coming and remember this is still in the works and whatever. It wasn't like here's a new game and it's coming, boom. It's like just
give us a trailer for the anime maybe, or give us a sneak peek of like the movie or something. I don't know. It kind of was like, here's a cookbook, here's this and here's that, by the way, like good luck.
Yeah. It's a shame because she's a fantastic character, and that franchise is known for like it's where Uncharted came from. Like the bones of Tomb Raider is what Uncharted is really. So but we'll probably see some more. But yeah, get on if you haven't played the latest 3 games, get on that trilogy pack. Like I can't remember what the pricing is listed here on the AU stores, but yeah, I saw it was $20 US on the PlayStation and Xbox marketplaces. So you got nothing to lose there, and that's 60 plus hours of game time at a minimum across that for 20 odd bucks. So you're coming out ahead there. They also teased a smattering of mobile games, Just Cause Mobile, multiplayer Hitman Sniper Assassins, and what sounded like a Pokemon Go style AR mobile game named Space Raiders AR. I got no real skin in the game of these. Like, I know we just talked about how great Apple Arcade is, but these 3 games did less than 0 for me on the interest scale. Like, nothing against them. They'd probably be great games for certain people out there, but they just, not for this guy. Not for me.
My biggest problem with Just Cause, the mobile, and this is my stupid awareness, before they started talking about these mobile games, they actually did, bring up a screen saying mobile gaming. Something of that variation. And then I saw the trailer for this Just Cause thing, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty action-packed, fast-paced. I'm like, oh, what's this? And it was like Just Cause mobile game. We didn't actually see any gameplay. So it was a really cool, punchy trailer. But it didn't really show you too much. And then any of the other ones, the Hitman Sniper Assassins, and the Space Raiders AR. Like when they were selling that, they did this whole montage about like space invaders, like just going through time and then making them appear in the public space. And I was like, what are they going to do to zhuzh up this game and make it more interesting? And yeah, apparently AR.
Yeah, it was like
showed me.
Okay, fair enough. Following on from those mobile announcements, we got a big old chunky Avengers update. So there was focusing on the latest Hawkeye addition to the game. Got a brief glimpse at Avengers Future with 2 additions due in spring, which is the Taishon Anomaly and the Red Room Takeover. Red Room Takeover is releasing sort of in parallel with the Black Widow movie coming out in the next few months. And then we also got 2 for summer, in quotes, and beyond. So that's, winter Australia and beyond. And that's Project Omega and Wasteland Patrol. We also got the announcement that Black Panther War for Wakanda brings T'Challa back to the game, or into the game, I should say, later in 2021. But the big old surprise for me, and I think a lot of the internet out there, is there was no mention at all regarding the Sony Spider-Man exclusive character. No date, no mention that Peter Parker's rolling in anytime this year.
Nope. Which
is just strange to me. Very strange. And we've got the next gen release out right now, and we might just jump ahead to a part in the doc here and then sort of weave back into this Square Enix. So I think it's going to weave in nicely.
Tweet of the week.
And this comes via way at Tom Warren. So obviously we got the next gen upgrade of Marvel's The Avengers that dropped this week, and so we'll sort of go with Marvel's The Avengers from their official handle first, because there's been a lot of flack getting thrown regarding the upgrade from PS4 to PS5. So the way you do it, this is from the official Marvel's Avengers Twitter, and it's like, how to migrate your save from PS4 to PS5. Launch the fully patched PS4 version and go to the Save Migration tab on the main menu to initiate the upload. Once the migration is done, launch the PS5 version, where you're prompted to download the data. Next tweet. If you have the PS4 and PS5 version of the game on the same console, save migration is necessary to boot the save on the PS5 version. Next tweet. You'll need to download the latest update for the PS4 version so you can download the PS5 version. If you're running the version of the PS4 game that has not been updated, you won't see the Save Migration tab and won't be able to transfer save data. And then at Tom Warren comes in over the top and he just says, how to migrate your save from Xbox One to Xbox Series X. Launch the game. So you can see the back-end architecture and how they handle these things is clearly very night and day. And this isn't anything new. Similar situations have occurred. I remember when we did the Assassin's Creed Valhalla spoiler cast, and Jono playing it on the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5 copped these difficulties where I was on the Xbox Series X, and it was just installed it and away I went, But it's a little bit of a pain in the bum. Hopefully Sony can get that back-end upgrade migration thing tidied up over the coming months or years, I don't know. But very different how they go about things.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting that, technically both consoles gloated the fact that they had the ability to upgrade your games onto the new gen console, but, Xbox has essentially probably seen the better execution of this process. A lot of people actually referred to this tweet as being Microsoft's win over the whole sharing games that Microsoft did ages ago, where they said you couldn't share games between your friends and then PlayStation did the whole thing where they had to share games in PlayStation and they handed it to each other. So they said that this is Microsoft's kind of get back on that, I guess. So
it was a very sneaky little jab.
Yeah,
and the old Xbox Smart Delivery is a thing of beauty. I love it. Any game that I've had on prior gen to new gen now, it's been a really seamless process for installing it and just loading up an old save. There's been zero headaches for me.
I had
zero
no
for any
issue
of the games
with
I've played.
Yakuza Like a Dragon. I didn't have any issues. It just happened. It just happened.
It's great. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, so we got a good chunk of Avengers info. We've got Black Panther rolling into the game later this year. We've got some additional content, new and unique biomes to go in with some new bosses and enemies that you're going to be battling. So they're still pumping money and energy and effort into this game. I just don't know what the player base is at. I haven't seen sort of recent numbers, but maybe with this next gen upgrade, it might inject a little bit more excitement back into this game and bring the players back. I'm in no rush to get back to it, which is a shame because I was a big fan of the game leading up to release. But yeah, I'll get to it eventually and play some more. But it's sort of the ship sailed a little bit for me. But
if there was anything to get me to play this game, it would be this Hawkeye kind of content. And I've watched a few streams of it already, of people playing this specific Hawkeye content, and to be honest, I actually like it. They've
okay,
but I like it because of the angle that they've gone with both Clint, who's Hawkeye, and with Kate, who's also Hawkeye. But I like that these characters are very reminiscent of Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, which is a great comic. Please read it, everybody. And I like the kind of, they're sarcastic, they're, no filter. And then there's also the dog as well. They call Lucky, but I always call Pizza Dog. It looked good. I liked how they went with it, but I haven't seen someone play the full content, so I don't know how long it goes for. I don't know, how much of a grasp it will hold on to the player base. So will it be just enough until Black Panther comes in? Who knows?
Yeah, I'd say these little packets they're releasing, it's going to be anywhere from 2 to 6 hours as far as the story you're going to get out of Hawkeye and Black Panther and things like that when they drop. So they're good little nuggets, and the fact they're free, so you can't complain too much. You're not paying for these bits of DLC, so you can't piss and moan that it's not long enough or not deep enough when you're not paying a cent for it. But
okay.
Yeah. But it looks good. Like the graphical upgrade, I think at least, like the characters look like that. I thought they looked good in the prior gen, but they look even better now. They're pretty slick.
Yeah.
And then all the crazy skins that you can get for the character just make them look as badass or
you can get a Ronin one,
bonkers as you like.
Yeah.
Was that sorry?
The Ronin, Hawkeye. Yeah, but I have one with him with a bald head as well, which I'm not.
And with Pizza Dog, as you said, there's unique pat animations for every single character that you can play as in the game, which I thought was cool.
Yes, the Twitter user, you can pat the dog. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah.
Which is a great follow for anyone that's interested.
Yeah, they sequenced all the characters patting the dog, and it's great because they all have their own unique way of approaching the pup. So
yeah,
cute.
Yeah, and then after that we got the big reveal of Life is Strange: True Colors, which is a wonderful looking new setting, cast, and special power. It's developed by Before the Storm studio Deck 9 and features a crossover character from Before the Storm. Another Life is Strange news, the series' original season and Before the Storm are getting remasters with new facial mocap due later this year.
Oh. Which
is, I think that's cool. Like, these games, they've never been known for the graphical fidelity.
No.
Like, it's about the story, it's about the narrative hook and the themes and the very relatable situations that these characters go through. I think that's what this game's, outside of supernatural abilities and things like that, obviously, but like, you know what I mean? Like they're a lot of real themes.
A lot of raw emotions.
Yeah. A lot of things that people can relate to playing these games, but the fact they're going to give it a bit of fresh coat of paint and pump that fidelity up to accompany that set emotion, I think that's a good thing. And then, they wrapped up with a bit of a look at PlayStation 5's timed exclusive Project Athia, which now has the new name of Forspoken. Ella Balasinka, the actress behind the main character Frey, was introduced in a new trailer, and the game is due out in 2022. Miss Hart, what do you got to throw regarding some of these Life is Strange announcements as well as Forspoken? What did you think about these final ones before they closed up?
I'm not really big into Life is Strange. I've never played it, but as you said, it's a very narrative heavy kind of game. So that's obviously kind of not my thing. I'm not very drawn to narrative focused gameplay. So I haven't played. It's got a massive fan base, so I understand why these why these games keep on coming out, and I'm happy for the fan base because I got to say the True Colors the overall theme about this character being able to sense people's emotions, and then they're able to harness, if it's too strong, they're able to kind of, really, it seems like they kind of like can let out a power themselves if they feel people's emotions really strongly. I thought it was nice, and I love the actual color amongst it and everything, so it looked nice, but I just know I won't play it because it's not my kind of game, but that's perfectly fine.
a lot of other people are going to play it though, so that's the good thing.
Oh yeah, I know. It's very, very popular. My Twitter feed was just full of very happy fans. So, however, Forspoken looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. When we got a short snippet of this one, when was it, last year that we saw that very brief snippet?
Yeah, it was at the Game Awards, I'm pretty sure. So December last year, I think it got highlighted.
Yeah, so it was it was a very, very short little bit, but I was already hooked onto that because graphically it looked stunning, and then we got to see a little bit more. We got introduced to the actress who was playing the character, and she seems lovely, and I'm just intrigued more because we saw her in a setting where she seems to be in this rundown building and there's a dragon, but she herself is wearing what appears to be modern clothing. So, that's got me very intrigued to see where this is going. So, looks
I was very curious. I don't know, for some reason I had weird Never-Ending Story vibes. Where somehow I just kept thinking about she's been transported through to some fantasy realm where what you said, that she's got the modern day clothing and stuff. I thought,
guess,
I wonder if they're going to go that kind of route.
I guess. I don't know.
And I just wanted to shout out that movie.
Falcor.
Sebastian.
Never seen
Atreyu.
it.
Never seen it.
Never seen it. I heard a horse dies, though I don't really want to get on board with that.
Yeah, but there's more to it than just a dead horse.
Put that on a shirt.
Mm-hmm. It's a big, beautiful dragon dog.
Falcor, right?
Yeah, you can ride him. Anyway,
overall,
I thought this Square Enix Presents was okay. I think there was some cool things shown. I think I agree with you 100% regarding they could have done more to prop up and add some weight to the Tomb Raider 25th anniversary. It's cool to see they're still throwing time and focus towards Marvel's The Avengers. Hopefully that game doesn't die out, but it just still feels like it's in the 12th round against the ropes type of thing.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was cool, and I'm a fan of these events. One of these popping up from various developers or publishers every few months is great because it keeps people in the loop and it keeps people interested in upcoming content. But sadly,
I was just thinking I'm going to take a step back because at first I was going to say, it's kind of lackluster, but then I realized that it's something that we've actually discussed about how we think it might be better for studios to actually have their own events so they can just straight up say, this is what we've got. And I should really kind of tone it down by not saying didn't feel like much. It's well, no, it's not about me. It's about the studio offering up what they have in the works, what they've got to offer. And it's about them, less about, having to get me excited about everything. It's just them telling the world, this is what we've got. So yeah, I actually think it was good. If that's what they're kind of showcasing at the moment and that's what they have to offer, then it's great. I still stand by the fact that studios should have their own events and should hype up what they've got going on and should hype up the team that have been working on things and give them their own special hour to be able to shine and show what they've been working on. So
definitely, and they've got tons of other games in the works that they haven't highlighted because they're ensuring that some of these other projects get the adequate time to shine.
Exactly,
No doubt we're going to get another pass at something similar to this from Square on the back of digital E3 and stuff like that in 3-4 months' time anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but still cool. Something that's a little less cool, Gotham Knights has been delayed to 2022. So this was announced overnight. WB Games Montreal's co-op Batman game was originally meant to be released sometime this year, but that will no longer be the case. According to a statement released on the official Gotham Knights Twitter account, the team says the title will launch worldwide in 2022. WB says the delay is so the team can have, in quotes, more time to deliver the best possible experience for players, end quote. So it's a shame, but it's necessary. I think this isn't going to be the last game we hear that's been delayed for this year. I think this is going to be the first of many. Obviously, we copped some last year with COVID starting to really take hold last year and the fact that it's still around and still changing the way we all work and how we go about things. It's going to extend lead times for everything in the world, whether it be a game, whether it be a product, whether it be, you name it. Like, every industry is impacted by this, and I think this is going to be the first of many we're going to see kicked into 2022 and beyond. It sucks, but I like that they got out in front of it. They said it straight away. It was clear. Like, there's no grey area. They're like, it's out next year. We need more time. Sorry, fans, but we'll be back soon.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is probably one of those where we heard about it only last year, and for them to also have said that it was going to come out this year, I think we were all kind of like, will it though? Like, and if it didn't have a definitive release date, that maybe they themselves were kind of like, ooh, maybe not. So, I'm sad, but as I've kind of stated, we've got 1,000,001 other games that we can play, and if this time helps them make a better game, then so be it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, park your hate, anyone that's out there that's potentially complaining about things like this, because, the world's a messed up place. And, that's not going to change anytime soon for a whole host of reasons. But, there's real people making this game, and it's going to come out when it's ready. And just get ready for more delays, I think. We're going to hear more and more of these. Like, we still haven't got any concrete dates on Horizon Zero Dawn or the next God of War, things like that. I think God of War especially is probably a big chance to be kicked into 2022. There's so many games that have just got the year attached to it for a release at the moment, which I think will be slipping and sliding into next year. So it's going to be a good year to clear out the back catalogue, I think, as far as your games list goes.
Yeah, there's plenty out there.
And speaking of plenty out there, Microsoft is going to be holding an Xbox Indie Game Showcase event on the 26th of March or 27th of March here in the AU. The showcase will be hosted on Twitch and feature over 100 games. Expect brand new game announcements from developers and publishers such as Drinkbox, Curve Digital, Devolver Digital, and Dear Villages. Microsoft said it will also debut new trailers and gameplay for more than 25 games, including Stalker 2, Second Extinction, The Ascent, The Wild at Heart, Void Train, Exo 1, and more. And expect announcements about indie games coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft have said. So this is cool. This is coming out this week. 100 games. Microsoft are just riding a really good wave of positive press and announcements at the moment. And this is going to just add to that even more.
I'm super excited. We've got Drinkbox in there who did Guacamelee, which I freaking loved, and we also have Devolver Digital making an appearance there. So I'm ready for it. 100 games they're going to announce. Like, obviously some of them are probably just going to be like little tiny games kind of thing, but then you're also going to have some big games. I mean, and they've mentioned good old Game Pass. So we're obviously going to get a good dose of some new games that are probably going to come straight to Game Pass. So
yeah, I'm keen as a bean. I'm excited to see another trailer for Stalker 2.
Yeah.
The first trailer certainly got my attention, and the original game back in the day on PC was phenomenal. So that Second Extinction, obviously with the dinosaur battles and things like that, I'm still open and interested. And yeah, then we've got another 98 odd games that we're going to see.
Yeah.
So bring it on. Like, yeah, I'm super hyped for this. And as you mentioned, Game Pass, that leads us into this next little nugget. And Game Pass the Dutchie, as I wrote in my very sleep-deprived state at about 12:30 last night. There was once upon a time when Xbox Game Pass announcements would come along every month or every couple of weeks at most. This week, though, is not one of those weeks. So on the back of not only that upcoming Xbox Indie Showcase, they've also confirmed a raft of upcoming games headed to the service this week, as well as already announced or released at time of recording today. So grabbed a bit of info from Eurogamer here, and yeah, they've announced another 10 or so games this past week. Half of them are already out, and the other ones are coming out this week. And the biggest couple, obviously, we've got Square Enix. On the back of their Square Enix Presents, Octopath Traveler is making its way to Xbox Game Pass on the 25th/26th of March, which is a big get. It's been a PC and Nintendo Switch exclusive up until now. On the back of that also, cult favorite Undertale hits Game Pass. It's already out, so it dropped on the 16th/17th of March. Obviously, it came out many years ago, but yeah, it's now available on Game Pass and is well worth a look. Outside of that, Empire of Sin, Nier Automata, Star Wars Squadron, Torchlight 3 have all arrived on the 18th/19th of March. And then if we're jumping back to that 25th/26th of March date, Genesis Noir, Octopath Traveler, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, Supraland, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life are coming out then. And then Narita Boy joins on the 30th of March with Outriders a day later. My goodness gracious. There's some big games there, like Nier Automata is another one. Star Wars Squadrons is big on Game Pass. But some of these as well, you need to look at the fine print. Some of them might only be console or PC version of Game Pass.
Yeah.
Where not all of them are across both. So just be mindful of that. But goodness gracious, a lot of games coming at you.
Yeah, full disclosure, I've actually been kind of brought up on the fact that, yeah, Game Pass is great on the Xbox, but on PC it's a little bit behind, according to a lot of fans. So a lot of these games that are kind of getting announcements, like we knew like Squadrons and such, but having these games on the PC platform, it's apparently taken some time. A lot of people were expecting to get the EA games on PC as soon as with Xbox, but apparently it's the whole process of getting it onto PC has taken a lot longer than being able to play it on.
It's out now though, dropped this past week.
Yes.
So EA Play has landed on Game Pass for PC as well. So there is, I think it's 60 games, I think, on EA Play.
Quite a bit.
I think it's around there that you've got access to now through, the Game Pass PC version. So yeah, but like a couple of the big ones there, like Outriders, it's not coming to Game Pass PC. It's just console and cloud. So be mindful of that if you are looking to get in day one with your fellow Outrider mates and, tame Enoch. But, great service. It just keeps on giving.
Yeah, it really does shine now. And I'm seeing more and more and more general hype about it. Like a lot of, like you obviously see a lot of Microsoft Xbox purists hyping up Game Pass and kind of saying like, how amazing is this? But I'm now seeing people on the other side of the fence kind of just saying like, holy shit. Like some people have been sending out tweets saying like, I don't have to buy a game for like a year. Like there's so much out there. So I'm really, really interested to see like how like Microsoft has gone about with like offering these titles out there and just having this service, this Netflix of video gaming. It's been incredible. And we're only probably going to see more in the next week. So
yeah, it's great. It's great. Like I know we harp about it and preach about it like
a lot
every week on the Hungry Gamers Church of Game Pass, but it's just a service that like if you don't have it, like if you can get it, why do you not have it? Like if you've got an Xbox and you don't have this service, what are you doing? That's the big thing here. Like you're saving so much money and you've got so many games at your fingertips. It is the best. But moving on to the last bit of news, and this isn't the best. This is a complete opposite to probably everything else we've been talking about here. And I've just titled this one, In the Eye of the Storm. Blizzard doing Blizzard things. So this past week, Activision Blizzard reportedly laid off nearly 190 employees, including 50 employees from the company's esports division. And that equates to roughly 2% of the company's total employee numbers, which is huge. 50 of those employees obviously were in the esports division. US workers laid off will receive a minimum of 90 days of severance pay and health benefits for up to a year, which is great. According to Bloomberg, each employee laid off was given a $200 gift card to Battle.net, which is the company's online video game storefront. But then furthermore, adding to this, it's also been reported that Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick is set to pocket a payout of up to $200 million US based on a shareholder value creative incentive clause, which is in part of Kotick's 2016 employment agreement. So on the one hand, they've fired 200 staff. And on the other hand, the CEO, who already earns $30 million US a year, is getting a $200 million bonus just based off the increase in Blizzard stock numbers over the past 6 to 12 months. So fuck you, Blizzard. This is gross. This is so gross.
it is really, really bad. And just seeing the lineup, like granted, it's something that he had in his employment agreement. So I guess he was the smart one when writing up his employment agreement and signing up as CEO of Blizzard. But just seeing that shit when, you know, being one of the 190 workers that just got laid off, and then seeing that big boss is getting a $200 million like pay, like,
yeah,
in any company,
the timing couldn't be any worse.
It's horrible.
It couldn't be any worse.
Like, speaking from a very real stance of working in retail, we were constantly told that we had to cut back on staff because, money's tight, guys. Money's tight. You know, we need to cut back on staff. You've got to look after 3 departments. You've got to work longer hours. You know, everyone's struggling. And then we got this stupid fucking flyer that they decided to post up right where we sign in, that our illustrious leader decided to get a like $1 million bonus or something like that. And it's just like, are you freaking serious? So it's the same. I could only imagine what the employees are thinking right now. So it sucks. It's shitty. It's so shitty.
It's really gross. And I think the other part that really irks me in this whole statement is that it's nice that they're getting health benefits for up to a year. Okay, that's the least you could do, but then you give them a $200 gift card to the Battle.net services. Like, come on now, man.
Isn't that you paying out to get money back in? That sounds like money laundering.
It is in a way, you know, like it's this boomerang where it's like, here you go, even though you know it's coming back into your wallet eventually anyway. Yeah. Like it's gross. It's so gross.
Maybe
like
buy a few loot
if I got
boxes
fired by a business and then they go, here's a coupon to come buy something at a reduced price. When you like, I'd be like, no, fuck you. You just fired me. I never want anything to do with you ever again.
I'd sell it for like 180 to some kid. It's a $200 gift card. I'll buy it off me for 180 or something.
Yeah.
Give me money.
Yeah, give me the cash.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I know businesses go through situations like this where hiring and firing and stuff like that, depending on market. But the fact that their stock and the value of Activision Blizzard is peaking, and yet they're still firing 200 staff and then throwing a $200 million bonus to Bobby Kotick. It's just Activision
nasty.
Blizzard doing more of the shit that they do.
Yeah.
Like, they make some great games, but how they make them and how they support them and how they're positioned in the market is totally opposite to the quality of the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fucked.
It has to be the esports genre, right? Because I'm trying to think of what Blizzard's really brought out recently that would be like launching the shareholders. This like what would be launching it apart from the esports, you know, connection to I've forgotten the name of that game.
Overwatch?
There we go. Yeah.
I think it's probably too on the back of the announcements as far as Diablo 4 coming out with the remaster of Diablo 2, Overwatch 2 in the way. So I think it's just they're riding a bit of that hypothetical momentum.
Yeah.
You know, the games aren't out, but they're coming. So people are like, oh shit, yeah, Blizzard are going to be great.
Also,
you know, these games are coming. I'm keen.
Didn't Blizzard Activision recently get fined by like some like either Europe or a country in Europe or something like that because of their loot box shenanigans?
Ooh, yeah.
So they had to pay a hefty for that, but they've got money.
Clearly, yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, and it's just this whole week of these announcements where they're 2% of the employees are gone, but Mr. CEO, here's $200 million. Like yes, that's in his contract, and it's, you know, it's not like these things aren't interconnected in any way in that regard.
Yeah.
But like, stagger these announcements. Like, if that bonus is there, try and delay it a month. Like, let this shit cool down at least before, you know, your staff are out the door and then there's this big truck of money getting backed up to the door at the same time for the CEO. It's like, come on now, man. Like,
yeah, chances are they had to disclose it regardless.
Yeah, for tax purposes and stuff.
Obviously, you know, when this sort of stuff happens, well, because of what Blizzard Activision is known for, there's always going to be someone like looking over them with like a microscope, just waiting for them to fuck up. So
Yeah, but it sucks. Hopefully those 190-ish employees find work quickly and get into a situation that's good for them short and long term because, it sucks, but that's big business sometimes, isn't it? You know, You're just a cog in a machine with a lot of these companies.
Just a number.
Just a number. Just a number. Speaking of numbers, these are some of the things dropping this week.
New releases and events.
Obviously, episode 233 of The Hungry Gamers you listen to right now, so you know that is available in your ear holes. On Tuesday, Hoop Dreams number 33 drops, as well as Is This Thing On number 9, exclusive Ko-fi podcast, which is going to be recorded on the back of Hoop Dreams. So it's going to have myself, Jono, and Matt Tilby talking about things that I don't even know what yet, but it's going to be great. So get that podcast in your ears exclusively over at kofi.com/we're8bit. On Wednesday, full access drops for Cocktail Club number 3 with Benny McJanet and Wilco from Locked On Lads riffing. I think they had chocolate mudslides, if I remember right, was the cocktail in question that they were devouring on that pod.
I haven't had a cocktail in forever, but every time Benny posts about a new episode and showing the drinks that he's making, I'm just like, shit, maybe I can make these at home myself because they look so good.
You really could. Yeah, I love cocktails.
So good.
I love cocktails. They're so good. On Thursday, the Hungry Game Show episode 16 drops via early access over at kofi.com/we're8bit and sees Nathan Tilley, longtime friend of the show, battling GoldenEye 007 / GoldenEye 64, depending on which way you've been brought up to mention that game. So that was a hell of an episode. We recorded that one just yesterday, and it was good fun talking about
Slappers
the game
only
that at the time. Yeah, Slappers only.
Golden Gun.
The game came out, it didn't have much hype leading up to the release, and then when it came out, it just really changed console co-op competitive multiplayer. Like, it was one of the games that really blew it up, and it was cool to go into some of the back-end history of this game and talk some of the facts and funny quirks about it. So, it's available early access this week over at kofi.com/we're8bit. On Friday, as we mentioned, the Xbox Indie Showcase is going to be broadcast over on Twitch. And we've also got then Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode number 2 dropping over next weekend as well. So plenty of content from us, as well as also the broader gaming world and geek culture worlds there to keep you entertained and keep you busy. Miss Hart, anything else you wanted to mention or highlight before maybe we close this sucker down for another week?
No, I think I'm good for today, unfortunately. I'm going to be...
You good?
Going to be icing these wounds.
Gotta go rest these abs.
Rest these abs.
Rest these abs. All right, 8-Bit Nation, it has been our pleasure to bring you episode 233 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We're going to be back next week for the world first episode of 234. But until next time, 8-Bit Nation, much love.
And stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.
I just got a message from KFC letting me know that the $10 popcorn chicken buckets are not going to be around forever.
Wait, what? Why not?
Oh, they just do it timed to try and get people hyped. But $10 for a big old bucket of popcorn chicken.
Sign me the fuck up.
It's so good. I buy that and then I buy a gravy and just like pour it all the way over the top.
No, as is with that Pepsi Cola.